You are exhausted from caring what everyone thinks, while feeling invisible at the same time. The weight sits heavy in your chest. You walk through life performing a version of yourself that feels safe, but hollow. You smile when expected. You stay quiet when you disagree. You shrink when you should expand. And underneath it all, there's this gnawing sense that the real you is trapped behind glass, watching your life happen to someone else. This creates a cruel loop. The more you hide, the more disconnected you feel. The more disconnected you feel, the more you doubt your worth. The more you doubt your worth, the more you hide. You end up living in this strange space where you desperately want to be seen but are terrified of actually being known. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 11 hidden patterns that keep you stuck in this cycle. More importantly, you'll see how breaking free isn't about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you already are. Most people think authenticity means sharing everything. They confuse being real with being raw. But authenticity isn't about exposure, it's about alignment. It's the quiet courage to let your actions match your inner truth, even when no one is watching.
Here's what most people miss about living authentically. Culture rewards performance, but humans need connection. Society celebrates the highlight reel, but your soul craves the behind-the-scenes moments. You've been trained to optimize your image when what you really need is to honor your experience. The first thing that keeps you hiding is the belief that your thoughts make you bad. You have a passing judgment about someone and decide you're terrible. You feel annoyed and convince yourself you're selfish. You experience doubt and conclude you're weak. But thoughts aren't character, they're weather. They pass through your mind like clouds across the sky. The second pattern is mistaking comfort for safety. You stay in situations that feel familiar but drain you. You avoid conversations that might create temporary discomfort but lead to deeper connection. True safety isn't the absence of risk, it's the presence of trust in your ability to handle whatever comes. Number 3 is the comparison trap dressed as inspiration. You scroll through social media telling yourself you're gathering ideas, but you're really collecting evidence of your inadequacy. Every post becomes proof that you're behind, not enough, or missing something essential. But comparison isn't neutral, it's violence against your own journey.
The fourth thing is believing vulnerability equals weakness. You think showing uncertainty will make others lose faith in you, but the opposite is true. Vulnerability is strength in action. It's the courage to be imperfect in public. When you hide your struggles, you rob others of the chance to connect with your humanity. Here's the fifth pattern: perfectionism disguised as high standards. You tell yourself you're just being thorough, but you're actually avoiding judgment. Perfectionism isn't about excellence, it's about control. It's the futile attempt to create a version of yourself that no one can criticize. The sixth thing keeping you stuck is the myth of readiness. You're waiting to feel confident before you act. But confidence isn't a prerequisite for action, it's a byproduct. You don't get confident by thinking about it. You get confident by doing things that scare you and surviving. Number 7 is the approval addiction you don't recognize. You make decisions based on how others might react rather than what feels true for you. You edit your words before speaking. You choose clothes that won't draw attention. You live your life in response to imaginary criticism from people who aren't even paying attention. If this resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe to Master Being Human. It helps the channel reach others who are ready to stop hiding and start living. The 8th pattern is confusing being liked with being loved. Being liked is surface level. It's about meeting expectations and avoiding conflict. Being loved is about being known fully and accepted anyway. When you chase being liked, you sacrifice the deeper connection your soul actually craves. The 9th thing is the fear of taking up space. You make yourself smaller to make others comfortable. You apologize for having needs. You minimize your achievements. But the world doesn't need you to be less. It needs you to be fully yourself, so others have permission to do the same. Number 10 is believing your past defines your future. You made mistakes and decided you're untrustworthy. You failed at something and concluded you're incapable. But your past is data, not destiny. Every moment is a chance to choose differently. The 11th and final pattern is thinking authenticity is a destination. You believe there's a moment when you'll finally be real enough, confident enough, or worthy enough. But authenticity isn't a finish line. It's a daily practice of choosing truth over comfort, connection over perfection.
Here's the framework that changes everything. First, observe without judgment. Notice when you're performing versus when you're being. Second, choose one small truth to share today. Not your deepest secret, just something real. Third, trust the process. Authenticity is a skill you build, not a switch you flip. The real insight here isn't that you need to become more authentic. It's that you need to stop working so hard to be inauthentic. You already know who you are underneath the performance. The work isn't about finding yourself. It's about getting out of your own way. When you stop hiding, something beautiful happens. The right people move closer. The wrong situations become obvious. Your energy returns because you're no longer spending it on maintaining a false self. You don't become perfect, you become real. This is what it means to master being human. Not to optimize your image or eliminate your flaws, but to live from the truth of who you are. To show up fully, even when it's scary. To choose connection over protection. Your authenticity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Not just for you, but for everyone whose life you touch. When you give yourself permission to be real, you give others permission too. And that's how the world changes, one authentic moment at a time. Join our community in the description below for deeper conversations about what it really means to stop hiding and start living. The world is waiting for the real you.